You ever noticed how you can hear someone talking, but somehow you've completely missed what they've been talking about? With over 25 years of policing under my belt, one of the most important things I learned over that time is active listening, the importance of it. You need to be able to listen and understand what's being said to you, because otherwise you could miss that critical piece of information. Your brain also has like a defense mechanism that can filter out information so that you don't hear what you don't want to hear. Selective hearing, they call it. So we're going to delve in that today. So it's really easy to fall into the selective listening trap, as I like to say. So what is selective listening? Well, in real simple terms, selective listening is only hearing what you want to hear. Something which confirms your unconscious bias or your already preconceived ideas. It can support your views, it can support your emotion, it can support the narrative that you want to put out there, or it could support something because you don't want to listen, because you don't want to believe it's true. Conversely, active listening, what is that? It's where you're not coming in with a preconceived idea and actually listening to what's being said, even if it's something you don't agree with and even if it's contrary to what you were expecting. So there are definitely times in life that we don't want to hear certain things, do we? We want to be able to bury our head in the sand and try not to worry about it. You know, try and think about something else, putting the fingers in the ears, I'm not listening, la 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 la, type thing. But that's no good for any of us, is it? So we've got to look at ways in which we can do a little bit better with our listening, because it's important not just to us, but for those around us. So we can almost not want to hear reality, we just want to hear what will confirm our own existing beliefs and thought processes. So remember, what's really important, you're not listening to understand always, because you don't always have to understand what you're hearing. You're just listening to confirm. Once you've confirmed what you're hearing, then maybe you can try to understand. And what I mean by selective listening. So over the years, I've dealt with many different things, but one that springs to mind was a neighbour dispute, you know, real low level stuff. It was a really silly argument. So I'm dealing with the parties, and I remember saying something along the lines to someone, well, I can understand where you're coming from. However, we need to look at blah, 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 whatever it was. And then it's like, well, see, the police agree with me, you're in the wrong. To the other person, it's like, this is not what I'm saying. I'm saying I can understand where you're coming from, however. So a lot of the time, what you're hearing, you don't want to threaten your own self-image. So you're actively seeking out small parts of a conversation or small parts of a message just being given out that's going to suit you. So there's several defense mechanisms when you're coming towards listening, not wanting to hear. So the first one really is denial. You know, you can live in that denial, not just the place in Egypt, where you can, no, that's not me, that's not right. What I'm hearing, that's not me at all. Rationalisation's another defence mechanism. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but it's only because of this. It's almost going back to the old programme Little Britain, where it's yeah, but shut up. So rationalisation is another defence mechanism. So I'd say the third main defence mechanism is projection. Yeah, that's true, but I only done it because, or yeah, that's true, but it's because of this. It's their problem, projecting onto other people. So what we've really got to realise is we don't always just avoid truth because we're weak. A lot of the time we avoid it because it's difficult to deal with the circumstance. We also avoid it because it's acknowledgement for ourselves that we need to make a change. So good listening is great when it comes to facts and figures. But sometimes listening is more than just what you hear. It's what you see and what you can perceive. So I remember during my police career, I had regular conversations with my members of staff, my officers, my staff members. And it'd always be, you know, how you doing, everything okay? But I was always thinking about the next question. What's the next one got to be? Almost like a ticky box exercise. And it's so easy to miss the other nuances of a conversation because you're concentrating on something else. And that was a surprise to me, because I always thought I was a good listener. But when you enter a conversation with a preconceived notion or an agenda, it can be really difficult. So active listening, although important within the police, it's not just the police, is it? Yeah, it's in your private life, it's in your family life, it's in your personal life and with your friends. So there are various techniques that you can use to improve on your active listening techniques. I'm going to go over 3 quick and easy tips that can help in this process. Tip number 1, listen for discomfort. But what do I mean by that? When you're listening, notice what makes you want to either defend or interrupt the person. By doing this, you're identifying a trigger in you which doesn't want to hear difficult things or difficult conversations. So tip number 2, pause. Not the things at the end of an animal's legs, but I'm on about taking a time to step back. Think for 3 seconds. Just stop, don't give an answer straight away. Have that 3 seconds so you can digest what's just been said to you. Count to 3, breathe, and then respond. So tip number 3, repeat what threatens you or what you didn't like to hear to clarify your understanding. Say back to the person the hardest bit that you had to hear. So it could go something like, so what you're saying is this. So you would like me to prioritise this workload over that workload. That will show that you've actually listened and actively listened, and they can clarify if you are picking it up wrong. So here's my question to you. What truths are you filtering out right now? Please drop in the comments one thing that you've been avoiding to hear. Obviously, it's an ongoing process. I still work on it to this day. So please like and subscribe this if you found any use whatsoever in this video. As always, thank you so much for your time, the most important thing we have, and God bless everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.